Well, hello my spannering chums. How is everyone? I hope you're all feeling good and having a bloody good day. So, post drop race services. You've seen all the trouble I've had with the bird. You've experienced the pain with me. The pain. So I've taken it to DRS and I'm going to DRS now, just to show you how close it is from my house. So, I took it to DRS, drop race services, yes, for all your suspension needs. I took it to them, the suspension expert, which is an expert, because that's all he does is suspension. He took it for a ride and he said yes, it's too stiff. He would have this setting on his race bike, because they do racing and, you know, Brands Hatch and all that sort of shit. He would have that on his race bike, this setting. So I said yes, but this bike goes on the road. He said yes. He said don't forget it's also 14 years old. I went right. So he took it for a ride. He came back and he said right, it's slightly stiff, I'd have that setting on the bike, but don't forget the bike's 14 years old, there's nothing wrong with it at all, it's just set up for a track, it's just a bit stiff. So I said, oh, 14 years ago this was a sports tourer. It's a tourer, it's not a race bike, therefore it doesn't have super duper suspension. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have super duper suspension. Non-adjustable suspension. And there it is. There's DRS. Drop race services for all your suspension needs. There's also the dyno truck they've got, and it's fully calibrated, it's fully working, and for a run it costs 20 quid. There you go, Mark. Aren't I good to you? Bless. Anyways, holy shit, it's windy today. So he said there's nothing wrong with the suspension, it's just on the hard side. The dampening is 100% perfect. The dampeners are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. It's just that I'm used to a top of the range suspension with fully adjustable forks, fully adjustable rear end, and it being brand new. I'm now running on very old forks that are completely non-adjustable. The air gap, readjusted the air gap, and it's, I don't know, it seems alright. So it's just a little twiddle with the air gap, not a huge amount. You just took some oil out, a very small amount to be honest. Come on mate, you can do it, you can do it. And yeah, it smoothed it right off. It's quite nice. Now, I have also noticed that where my camera fits onto the helmet, you know, the clicky, the double tooth thing, I have a loose mounting there, and that makes the camera jolt forwards and backwards. So basically the camera's going like that in the wind. So the camera's actually moving on the helmet, which is exacerbates, which makes it worse. So just a very, very tiny tweak. But he's turned around and said there's absolutely bugger all wrong with them forks. They're great, they are. For a bloody old blackbird, you can't go wrong. So I've had an expert look at it and he said it's fine. Tiny little tweak. Nothing wrong with them forks at all. The dampeners are working superbly. The spring's a little bit stiffer than what he would have in a road bike. He'd have that on his race bike. But I mean, the bike is very old and it's completely non-adjustable. So I think I've got it round about as close as I'm going to get it with it, you know, with a non-adjustable pair of 17-year-old bloody forks. And the camera mounting on the side of my helmet doesn't help at all. Take it easy today, Tone, it's not a fucking race. So there we have it. The fork saga is over. I need to redo the mounting on the camera on the helmet because that is just loose as shit. But the forks are fine. There's still a bit low speed dampening is still a bit of an issue, but there's nothing I can do about it because these are non-adjustable forks. Because you do get the forks with the bits in the middle at the top, and these aren't them. So all I can do now is, I think it's 954 Fireblade. I get the front forks from a 954, they bolt straight on, but I would have to de-link the brakes. So you're talking quite a fair bit of money there, really. So there we have it. I'm happy now knowing that my forks are slightly over stiff. But that's because it's got brand spanking new springs in it. Springs might wear down a little bit, you know, and then that'll make them perfect. That's of course if you can hear me with all this wind, because we're in the middle of a hurricane apparently. Anyway, that's the end of the fork saga. Time to move on to something new. What now? Feet. Anywho's, take care. See you all again soon. Ta-ta.